I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings. Unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a pleasure it is to have you here again. I am a little bit late. I know that. I am sorry. Me and Joe had some conversations this morning. I lost track of time. She's going to be getting ready a little bit. And we can be doing some live streaming. It's nice having you here with me. Today's stream topic is about when we show up. Right? Talked about when we show up. That's the way I titled it. I feel like there definitely is a matter of almost like time awareness that has arisen in my mind, especially with the move, especially with the literal change of time, right? What time it is at what time of day, relatively to the time I'm used to existing within. There is the time that was spent in the manifestation of the circumstances that we're in right now. There is the time that was taken in transport, in travel, getting here in the first place. And I feel like there still is gonna be so much when, on the horizon. There's this perpetuation of a certain process, right? When I show up for a job at some point, maybe later in this journey, when I show up for my art in a different way, when I show up for how I'm received, right, by myself, when I show up for my yoga mat and do my practice, when I show up in different places in this space, right, and the people that I end up meeting and the conversations that I'll end up having. Me and Joe had a conversation today as well about future thinking, right? There's so much to think about when it comes to our futures. That ultimate when I something, right? It is very much set in the future. When I show up, when I grow up, when I become more patient, when I become more at peace, when I stop letting myself experience a sense of suffering. But Melt, suffering is inevitable. No, I don't think it is. I'd like to believe that it's not. I think suffering is a matter of wanting for things to be differently, and we are, as egos, ultimately always going to want things to be a certain way instead of another. Good morning to you, Milan. Milan. It's nice meeting you. Yeah, we're showing up. We showed up. The when was later than we're used to showing up. I'm willing to acknowledge that as well. But still, there is a power in showing up in the first place. Showing up has been the most powerful thing that I've discovered about reality. And maybe there is a conversation to be had about that in itself. I have had many conversations in this stream about showing up in general. Part of me wants to see if I can extract some information. I'm gonna check some of my old stream topics. I wonder if I can search it in my YouTube studio of all of the whens. That one time when I did this something. Let's see. Show up. At least four times. On day 981, I used the word show up. On day 1028, I used the word show up. On day 1259, and then again on 1771. That one was relatively recently, right? Like 100 days ago, 3 months ago, about what we show up for. And now this is a new title, at least new enough. The when, the when we show up for. Showing up really is the most powerful energy that we can engage with. And yesterday we talked about how we wake up. What's poppin'? Hey, Kid D, good morning to you. Not much is poppin'. We're having a conversation today about when we show up, right? I'm very much having the conversation from the perspective of uh, time location, all right? Time location is an interesting theory. Did you know that it would be hard for us to time travel? Because even if we figured out a way to travel in time, where is the real problem? In other words, maybe I can teleport myself back in time 10,000 years, but the Earth has traveled in the last 10,000 years. And I can position myself 10,000 years back in time, but it won't be in the right place, right? That moment when you get time teleported, but not location teleported. Hate that. It's rarely fun floating in the void of space. Hey, I saw I saw the actions. Saw the actions of our beloved friend before I saw any of her comments. Moon Knight's here with us as well. It's nice having you here. Thank you, Sam, for joining us. Thank you for the hundreds, Sam. Appreciate that. Sammy Beach Boy and Full House. Thanks for the love. We find ourselves present in this when. The when is now, for which we have to show up for. Bridge. I don't know what you're talking about, Moon Knight. I'm confused. I have definitely been thinking a lot about the when, right? Especially so as it relates to the time in history that we're in right now, right? It's a very interesting time, when wise, right? That time when, add your thing here about this time that we're in, that time when the robots started walking amongst us, that time when super intelligent machines became awakened, that time when we did a lot of how do you say, Nazi stuff back then, of course, not now, but in like the 19s, that moment when that was happening back then. These people got crazy names, bro. Some of them do. Kiddy, good thing yours is so simple. Simple and easy to remember, right? Get to know who you be. I have been, like, you friends know that my hair has been kind of like, psh, all right? And I had it like as soon as I came here, the when I showed up in America, I don't know if it was because of the atmosphere, but my hair took on a whole different quality that suddenly made me feel like I had to do something about it. You ever have that moment, right? And I'm sharing this as like a microcosm of a macrocosm. In other words, sometimes when you show up in a certain place or you show up for a certain experience, when you do that, there is experiences, there is qualities that arises on the back end, right? That you have to adjust to. You have to almost like morph yourself into becoming the person that can fit into that space the way that it is. There definitely has been some of that from me, right? You friends know that I do like living from a place of extreme honesty, right? Sometimes even if it could be, how do you say, detrimental. I think detrimental is the right word, right? Detrimental to my likability. I think that's a good one. We can stop just at that one. Could be detrimental to my likability, and I'll be honest anyway, I'll say the thing on my mind anyway, right? However, however, the when of having shown up to America, there definitely is a little bit of adjustment happening in me, where I'm a little bit more reserved with some of my honesties. I just kind of hide. It's a little bit of hiding. And I feel like this environment, and I'm talking about the environment at large, maybe there's a matter of microcosm experiences, right? Smaller relationships that I could manage, right? A different state of being in. But I'm being very incognito, at least to myself, right? In comparison to how usually flamboyant I like to be. And it's this matter of like almost like unknowingness, right? I didn't know when I showed up that was going to necessarily be something that I would adjust to. I didn't know a bunch of the things that I would become, change into when I arrived here. There were a few conversations had even with some of my friends who have lived in the States before as well, either with work or have been here for travel, where they mentioned there is a certain, like almost like minefield, right? That every country, in a way, has its own frequency. And the frequency at which America operates is, I want to say maybe the word established, right? It's like you know what frequency to expect in that word, in that way, right? For instance, there's a frequency of fast food chains, for example, right? Frequency of Dairy Queens and Wendy's and Arby's and McDonald's and right. And then you go from one place to another place, and frequently you'll see these places re-echo themselves, right, over and over again. We have some of that going on in South Africa as well, but because of South Africa's, let's call it rich history, right, there is a bunch of different, almost like instances of reality. And we went to a few places during the December as well, and I got to see more of what South Africa is just before I actually came to the States. And I hope that you understand that with me talking about this, there's no negativity, there's no complaining, there's no disappointment even in my energy when discussing this topic. There's just this real, like, intrigued kind of like, what's happening now? Am I changing? Me as myself, watching myself change into the myself that this place expects me to be. And I don't know if the myself that I am wants to be hiding necessarily. Maybe there will be a when to show up in as I continue going forward. I wish YouTube had a counter somewhere to tell me how many trolls I've bounced from this space. I don't know if YouTube releases the metadata of these streams like that. I'm shaking this thing again. Let me see. Mm. Does YouTube capture metadata for live streams that can be used to analyze how many trolls, for example, has been banned from the place when sharing profanities? Yes. Hmm. YouTube does capture metadata for live streams that can be used to track and analyze moderation actions, including bans. However, the level of detail available depends on whether you are using the standard YouTube Studio dashboard or the YouTube Data API. Yeah, which I don't. But I mean, it can be done. User banned event. Yeah. It's titled in the metadata as user banned event. One word. When a moderator ban someone, a specific event is generated in live chat metadata. The metadata includes channel ID of the banned user and the ID of the moderator who took the action. So there you go, Sam. Eventually, one day, I'll be able to ask my machine, hey machine, please please query YouTube data API about MeltMore channel and let me know how many people Sam, username at love is a dove, love is a rose, love is a red rose. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. Don't at me, Sam. Don't at me. And then it will tell me. It will query that data and it will. This person equals having banned so many people. There you go, Sam. When the time comes, this data will be revealed. This information will become available. What are your pronouns? Luth Ducky. I would probably say I'm a he, him, right? Pretty basic, pretty vanilla. And I do like the idea of being a they, right? To how do you say? Make myself feel larger, right? I'm just a he or a him. Actually, call me them. It's like, where's the rest of you? It's like they're all in here. So many inside of myself that I need to identify more of them. And again, the reason that I like that idea is because I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I think all of us have multiple different people inside of ourselves, right? For instance, there is a melt that is crazy, right? There's a melt that likes fighting, really likes fighting, like to a concerning degree, likes fighting. Like gets a big old smile on his face, getting punched in the face. And that version of me is also me, one of them at the very least. But that version of me, like I put in a corner, put in a corner, and then I give him crayons and scenes of Deadpool fighting bad guys to color in. Ducky, did you eat a duck this morning? Hope not. What are you saying, Melt? Listen, and you may hear me. Listen, watching a Meltmore, loving a Meltmore. Hoopty hoops. That's a cool profile picture you got, bro. Looks closer. What's happening? That's pretty cool. Oh, I like it. Master Dan. Dan is here. Dan is here. Hey, Dan. Nice having you. Master Dan, where have you been? The galaxy needs you. Hey, Dan. How is validations? Aw, Dan, let us know, bro. There's so much love. Hey, Kira Burp is lyric loving us as well. It's nice having you here too, Kira Burp. Today we're having a conversation about when we show up, right? Very much trying to attach this or approach this topic from a sense of like meta reality. We talked about the metadata. And to the friends who don't understand what metadata means, like there is data, for instance, the actual pixel values, right? This data being generated with me moving my hands. It's telling these pixels to light up at the top of the screen. And then there's data in my voice. And then there is like data underlying the data, right? That's also just as important, but it's not necessarily as interesting or glamorous or directly functional in the same way we might consider the primary data. And I feel the same thing has been happening for me when it comes to my experience of integrating into this country, where there is the main beats, right? The main information, the data is very similar to what I'm used to, right? Very similar to South Africa for the most part. There's roads, there's buildings. You get on the roads to get to other buildings. And then you walk into those buildings. What you do have a lot more of is like proper air conditioning. Like your buildings and homes are warm, relatively speaking, for how cold it is outside. That is a little bit different. But again, that's I feel metadata. That's easing into the metadata. On the data side, there's couches, there's chairs, there's tables. All right. On a basic level of the way in which humans interact, within the way humans show up for reality, very little has changed. However, the metadata, right? The underlying information that begets the basic information that we have come to expect is the thing that I am really adjusting to, right? That's the part that I am kind of like finding my groove within as well right now. I said to my dad yesterday, sent him a message telling him that I'm thinking about him. And as a part of that message was, I am learning a lot about myself in this place and learning a lot about who I can and want to be. Right? I feel this world is very systematic, right? If you want to be a computer person, then you can follow a bunch of systems, you can get a bunch of certifications, and then you can be computer person, right? Where I feel like in South Africa, it's very much a matter of, I don't want to use the word luck, but almost like specializing. And I guess that is the same thing here as well. But the reason that I bring luck up into the conversation is because I went into the AV industry pretty much directly after high school. I was into like I pulled cat cables from one room to the racks. I connected those cat cables, crimped those cables to plug them into our racks. Our racks would control little media devices that would be able to take multiple different video feeds from multiple different points at the table, have buttons that would switch the source from one little switch box to the other switch box, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that I started doing as soon as I got out of high school. And it taught me a lot about systems. Again, right? I learned a lot about systems. And I remember even back then, my employer telling me that if I continue to skill myself into learning how to be the one that programs these systems so they behave in the way they're supposed to, that I didn't do much of. And thank goodness, right? I did most of the installation work because I was a 19-year-old, that I could make a lot of money in doing so, right? All I needed to do was specialize how to use my computer to program Victron, or like Victron was the ones that we would use a lot. Victron, and like I had another friend also recommending that I learn Cisco systems. And again, the metadata on my heart that I experienced was this sense of, I guess, simplicity, right? Like all of these things are actually very simple. There's a line about being a better trained monkey, right? That if you are envying a person who's earning a higher salary than you in a position that requires them to have a certain amount of skills, technically, they're just a better trained monkey, right? And the actual system underlying is been made simple. Like all of the things that we're building these days are made really simple so that the average person can actually use them and engage with them and get them to work eventually. And I find myself stuck every time I reach that point. Every time I reach that point where I'm like, okay, I understand how to do this, then I lose interest. And I lose this sense of like, what am I showing up for? Hey, Angelina, hello, hello, dude, sent you $1,000 for a haircut? No, I just put some mousse in my hair, all moosed up. Now I got that do. Took me some time. You look sharp. Thank you, Gibbs. Aw, you're freaking. You're gonna make me blush. You're gonna make me all like. Thank you, dude. Yeah, it takes me not that long, right? But my hair goes from I hate it so much, right? Like I would rather just shave it and be over with it, kind of hatred, to I hate it still when I start trying to get it to do what I want it to do, to then suddenly it looks the way I want it to. And then I'm like, okay, just don't touch it. Let's Let's hope that it stays that way. The mousse does help. It helps. It helps, but it's everyday kind of thing, man. Gabs, every day, bro. Every day. Like I've shared this fractal with you before, dude, where it's so involved, and there's so much insecurity that comes with it. I've had this whole fractal about like let me backtrack. All right. Imagine 19-year-old Melt being at a festival, dancing. With the dance, sweat gets sweated. With the sweat getting sweated, my hair gets different, right? During that whole process. And then I have this whole moment, this conniption about hair and how much we care about it. Since that is our stream topic for today, when you show up to a mirror and that is something that matters to you, depending on how your hair looks or not, it can like mess with your whole state of being, right? Mess with your whole mood. If I just like met someone for the first time, for example, right? Like let me say I met Joe's mom, and then I go to the bathroom and I see myself in the mirror and my hair looks unkept or like a disaster. Right? Now suddenly I'm like, oh, geez, are they thinking something? Are they going through and they probably aren't. I think that's the part that I was really coming to the conclusion, the conniption of like, why do I care so much? Why do we care so much? And I wonder how much of it is my mom. I had a mom that's really uh focused. Yeah, that's a good word. Really focused on aesthetics, right? The reason I dress the way I do is because of my mother as well. She was uh, plucking my eyebrows. At one point, I asked her to wax my beard. I only did it 3 times, right? I didn't think that I wanted a beard because then I would have to keep shaving it forever. And I was like, I'll have none of that. Wax it off my face. And she was doing that. She was waxing my face. And it just brought with it, again, like literally for the longest time, such layers of insecurity. And I feel like maybe that's where I'm coming to as well. It's interesting to me that you share that, Gab. I shared at the start of the stream. Today's stream topic is about the ways in which we show up, right? Or technically, the when of what happens when we show up, right? And showing up to America, the air is different here. The altitude is different here. Being in an air-conditioned home that's being heated makes the air very dry, changes the texture of my hair as well. So because of all of these things that arose, the metadata of my reality, when I showed up into this space, I suddenly had to take more control over something that I would rather forget about. And moments like these where you acknowledge the fact that you think it looks nice comes with a sense of sweetness, right? Like a joy, like, oh, good, good, and thank you. I appreciate it so much. All right. Maybe there can be something shared, like me kind of like unfolding myself in vulnerability like this, where it's okay, right? When you show up and your hair is not perfect. I'm saying this to myself as well. It's okay. The world is not going to end. You're not going to be less likable. People aren't going to hate you. People ideally won't make fun of you. Gestures broadly at all of the stream trolls making fun of me. Damn it, the people that matter. The people that matter won't make fun of you. And if the people that matter do make fun of you, they usually will do so from a place of endearment and not from a place of hatred. All right. When I show up, I feel really good. I feel like I've like almost like kicked myself on the ass, mentally speaking. Like, hey bro, what are you doing? Stop doing that. I say to myself. Again, thank you, Gabs. Love is true, bro. I'm still waiting for my $1,000 though for that person, right? I can pretend that I got, please. Dan says I'm gonna keep it brief. I don't want to ruminate, but I'm tilted, y'all. Bro, let us know. My sister, who has been terribly abusive towards me, and I have lashed out in response, is owed an apology despite her abuses, and I'm ready to deliver it. However, I'm dependent on my mother in doing so, as my sister has blocked me and I don't have her address, and I've decided a handwritten letter is the best approach. It's true, a lot of simply put together. Darren, it's nice having you here as well. Dan, that is an interesting position to find yourself in. But the fact that writing a letter is all that's required of you right now feels like it could be, what's the word? Conclusive? Is that the word I'm looking for? Right? Write the letter and then allow yourself to conclude some of the tiltedness. Be like, it's done, oh. I've done my part. She can keep me blocked if she wants to, not tell me where her where her address is. Make it up to her. Your mom has My mom has agreed to provide me with said address, but is gatekeeping and scrutinizing my approach. Sorry about your abusive system, Sam. So this person I'm apologizing towards has treated me horribly for my whole life. My mother refuses to confront any of that, but my apology is what needs attention and scrutinizing. Frustrating. Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'll say this, you're a bigger man than me, Dan. I think I have. Like, I only apologize for my own actions. All right. And I know that you did say that you lashed out. And those are the actions that are now requiring apology. However, I am not very good at it. I'm not very good at it. I try to not transgress, right? I think that's also a part of it. And then when I do come from a place of like humbleness, like, okay, I might have overstepped there a little bit. But then that is difficult enough, right? As we both know, just admitting that much. Having how bad you feel or in which ways you feel bad scrutinized. Be like, oh, I saw you feeling bad, but you didn't feel bad in this way. I can imagine that being frustrating. Taking a breath. You know what? I can't do this for you, Dan, but I can do it for myself. And then you can vicariously live through me. All right. I'm going to go get something that's meant for cleaning or cleansing, I think is the better word, your energy fields. Oh, yeah, Melt, you're going to cleanse? Yeah. 11:30? Oh, okay. That's cool. So you're going to leave like now. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Here it is. Look at that. That changes color as well when you shake it a little bit. Maybe I can show you. I think I'll have to swap this around if you want to pause it and read. Aqua de Florida is made with flowers, herbs, resin, barks, citrus, and woods, harvested on the sacred mountain of Hogsbag, Eastern Cape, South Africa. There is her information as well. If you're ever in South Africa and interested in something like this, Aqua de Florida is a spiritual cologne used by shamans for cleansing, healing, rituals, grounding, and wounds. The spirit of Agua is a beautiful partner to bring ease, peace, and well-being to people, animals, and spaces that you touch. Yeah. This stuff is nice. Really nice. It smells so good. Man, instantly makes me feel some things. And then you just go, "Bah, bah." Yes, cleanse me. Yes. Let all of that frustration wash away. Off of my freaking shoulders, frustrations. I ain't got no room for you. And I put a little uh, rose quartz palm stone in my hand as well for you, bro. Hold on to this little pebble of love. Mm-mm-mm. Alrighty. Oops. Wrong tab. Ooh, yay. 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 I'm so excited about that. I'm going to save it for later. No, not right now. Not right now. Mm. Play next in queue. Fine, I'll do it like that. There is a company called Donut. No, not like the food item. I'm not food talking, I promise. It's a company called Donut who made like a really sophisticated hub motor a while ago, and people were losing their minds talking about how if it was possible, one of the big companies would have done it, and yada yada yada. Just like people being salty about not being the one that has the cool tech. And now, like what, I think 2 months ago, maybe like start of this year, they announced that they figured out how to, at scale, like a gigawatt scale, produce a solid state battery. Or at least I think that's what it is. It's a battery with extremely high energy density. I don't understand what energy density means. It means how much watt hours you can fit in a kilogram of mass, right? So our current battery tech, the stuff that you have on your phone, for example, I think the stuff that you have in your phone might be better. Let's say the stuff that you put in or not hair dryers, like little remote vacuums, or the like vehicles, the electric bikes we ride, or even our cars, right? Those single cells, their energy density goes between like 150 to, if you're lucky and you have good stuff, maybe 200 watt hours per kilogram, right? I don't understand what watt hour is. A watt hour is how much watts something pulls in an hour. So if I had a really bright light bulb that pulls 200 watts, and I have a 200 watt hour battery, I would be able to power that light bulb for an hour with that battery's amount of energy density. And this company have basically made public that they now have the capacity. And again, this is the best we got. We got like, if it's really good, it's 200, maybe 220 watt hours per kilogram. And then they just came out and they were like, yeah, we can now at gigawatt scale produce 400 watt hour per kilogram batteries, which essentially means that if you had to just like one-to-one replace all the batteries we have in our cars, in my EUC, in your electric scooter, you get suddenly double the range, just out of nowhere. No added mass, just suddenly like double the energy density. And they recently, they made a video about, we're gonna show our data because people didn't believe them. And I just got the first video. It got posted how long ago? 1 hour ago. Yes. 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 It makes me so happy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna calm down. I'm just so stoked about it. I'm so very, very stoked. I would lie if I said I wasn't very bostokieth. That's cool. It's really cool because, again, it's disruptive, right? We have all of these major companies that already spend billions and billions of dollars building factories and manufacturing. And then suddenly a relatively small company just like comes out of nowhere and doubles their capacities, like out of nowhere. And it makes me feel like it's happening, right? It really is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. Oh, all right. I'm gonna calm down my excitement. Alas, it is not kept brief. It's okay, Dad. It's okay, dude. It happens. I spent the first year at my new job doing my hair every morning before I just started saying fuck it. Yeah. Now I'm kind of in this weird. I used to wear makeup. I can almost not imagine that. I don't think I've seen you in makeup more than 5 times. Yeah. She's pretty without makeup at least. Don't need no makeups. I'm not a makeup liking person. Yeah. Like it's one of those things where I am very aware and my senses are sensitive. I know that. I know she has like the mascara essentially. Eyeliner, that's right. She got eyeliner tattoos, which I think is nice. I think it looks good on you. But I was more talking. Let's say if you were putting actual eyeliner, yeah, cake up exactly, where you can like see the powder encrusted in your pores and stuff. Like I don't like that. It's like, is that comfortable? I don't know if it's comfortable. Can't be comfortable. I mean, you also have to probably be careful of like touching your face to things, and maybe just touching your face in general. Yeah, will smudge it. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Sounds highly inconvenient. A fish routine for sure. Humility melt, but for fuck's sakes, let me be humble on my own terms. Yes. Did you hear what Dan said? Yeah, it's like he had a falling out with his sister that has been a little bit a certain way his whole life, and he felt like he did overstep, and then he felt the need to apologize, but she had blocked him on his like mobile, and he doesn't know where she lives, so he's like opted to write her a letter, but the only way for him to write that letter, yeah, and now she's scrutinizing and trying to direct how he's supposed to say sorry or what he's supposed to say when he's saying sorry. And for fuck's sake, let me apologize, David. Let me humble myself in my own ways. I'm big boy. I can humble myself. You look like Sid from Ice Age. Well, Sid is the coolest character in Ice Age, so of course. He's kind of Manny. Manny is the one that I wanted to be. Sid is like the comedic relief, you know. And I've realized that uh, I'm more comedic relief than I am big scary big teeth lion person. You know, I do have saber teeth, but yeah, Sid is. I think Sid is the cool one to me. Sid was literally just chilling, bruh. Sid was riding Mammoth the whole time. Who would you rather be? Rather be the person that's Mammoth carrying a Sid, or would you rather be the Sid getting carried? I know my answer. No, is Manny the Mammoth? You're right. You might be. What's his name? Hey Google, what is a saber-toothed tiger in Ice Age called?
In the Ice Age movies, the saber-toothed tiger is named Diego.
Diego.
He is a Smilodon, voiced by Dennis.
A Smilodon. Ah, he's not a saber-toothed tiger. He's a Smilodon. Okay, I'm back to wanting to be Diego. I want to be Smilodon. That's sick. I can Smilodon. Interesting, glamorous, functional steel-toed boots. You can make functional, glamorous steel-toed boots. I like your boots. They're cute. Mm. Are those combat boots? I was about to say. You look matchy matchy with the red and your cap and your shirt. Y'all, what the word stuff of integrating is the primary data set. It is the primary data set, but how that primary data set is processed is determined and influenced by the subdata as well. Yeah, I get to work from home 2 days because of the snow. It snowed here yesterday as well, but I don't know if it's staying. There's snow like a little bit and then melted pretty much instantly. I'm happy that you get to stay at home and work from home, bro. I was just saying weird stuff that moment when we say weird stuff together. Your mom sounds kind of abusive too, Dan, telling you how to feel and what to say. Sheesh. You're a grown ass man. Let's go. Yeah. She wants to, in a way, probably, and this is my own projection, be partly responsible for you making up, right? Like, yeah, I'm such a great mother. Look at how my kids are getting along. But I want them to get along, so I'm gonna tell you what to say because I know my kid, and she's not gonna want to hear this thing that you said in that way. So I'm trying to help. I'm helping. That's what I'm taking up. Right, detecting some skizziness detected. She is. The whole family is abusive. I finally reached a point where I don't internalize it, but I still have to like deal with them. It's kind of annoying at times. I'm like a babysitter, not a son. I do get that. I do get that. I feel like I'm the one that is the babysat one for the most part when it comes to my family. Like they're the ones that are very capable. All right. Nice. I don't know if I should show the friends, but yeah, the show has like security codes. Oh, you just had like you were walking. That's why it didn't fall in your hair, but that was really close. You almost got bird bombed. Mm, yeah. What if current was just transmitted wirelessly through the ether and you could replace your batteries with antennas and electronics weighed less? I mean, that was what Tesla was trying to do, right? That was Tesla's hope. But I'm still not convinced that that would have been the solution, Gabs. I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like it would have been too loud. It might have been. It might still work. I would like to have the idea of like a whole grid being created around the Earth, right? And there not having to be almost like that much energy added, almost like activating the energy that's already there, kind of thing, right? Just like tuning its frequency a little bit so it's easier for us to access with our devices. But I also imagine at the same time as like our energy needs grow and grow, that we eventually cook ourselves, kind of thing, right? Because electricity is very interesting. You know, electricity doesn't flow in a line; it creates a field. You know that? Some of you know that. Yeah, electricity creates a field, and then the electrons flow through that field, creating current. Right, and the stronger that field is, the more current. Right, and I imagine that if we put a lot of that field into our world, the amount of current we would have to pull would be directly relative to the amount of like output, right? How loud, relatively speaking, is a signal that thing outputs. And if we start putting chips in our brains and stuff, I don't know if that would be good for us. We might get a little bit cookie if I've built it in 4 hard boundaries against a brother that I wrote in my piece. I was able to heal and deal with him in small doses. After that, I've had that too, actually. I think I auto-corrected your autocorrect to be correct. I believe. Miscommunications happen. No shame here. It's true. We love you too, Gabby Goose. And Hoopty too. Do you guys know what's more rewarding than waking up, being blasted at the crack of dawn, and watching cartoons with grilled cheese? Doing all of that with a toddler. Does sound kind of like a vibe. I know Joe Rogan is not that popular anymore, relatively speaking, right? But he had this one stand-up show where he was talking about how weed made him a better parent because, like, when he's in a sober state of mind, it's a very practical. You think of things in a certain way, and then when he smoked a joint and he watches his daughter play with a doll, he's just it's a lot more intrigued, a lot more inquisitive. Like, that's not a baby, right? Yeah, I know. But you're still playing with it like it's a baby. Yeah. Huh. Neat. Getting to watch a kid from that state of mind, being like, huh. Watching cartoons. What cartoons is a good question, Dan. I want to know too. I can't get blasted right now, Sam. So get extra blasted for me. Sam. I've been postponing my bow blastiness. I also do make flowers. I think that's the one thing that I've been trying to do. I want to create a pattern where if I do work, right? Like it has to be that way almost. It's funny how we look for commonalities like automatically. It's a matter of ego and creating that sense of sameness, right? I want to know that we are the same kind of people. So I try to look for commonalities. Despicable Me, Dan. That's a really good one. Like, I really like Despicable Me. I'm definitely a Groot type character. If I was living in a world where I could be a supervillain, I would be a good supervillain, right? Be the best supervillain. I'd be like a Robin Hood supervillain. Steal from the banks and give to myself. I'm joking. I would give to my friends too. I'll do like a nepotisms. Abuse is my middle name. CEO of my time. What's your first name? I hope it's something better than abuse. Good morning, Hoops. You're an Osmosis Jones. Always, if, and forever. Are you calling me an Osmosis Jones? I think I might be an Osmosis Jones too. I don't think you're wrong. I watched that movie as a kid and I really liked it. I wanted to be Pillman, but only until I find out that he's actually lame. He actually does nothing. I still wanted to be like that. I want to have compartments inside my body with weapons. In case, just in case. But Melt, have you ever been in danger? No, not once. But just in case, be all glocked up. Have my arms as cannons. One friend knows what I'm talking about right now. I can see. You watched Osmosis Jones too? What a good movie. I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it since I was 8. I think it's time. Yo, who we missed each other by a few minutes the other night, man. Osmosis Jones. That is a particular animation period. Always felt a little dreamlike. I loved that era of animations. Like I really liked it. That uh, um, Journey to Treasure Island, Adventure to Treasure Island. Also same kind of art style, right? Sinbad. Those like church movies or Bible movies. Such fire animation style. I think it was just too hard for them to do that. That's why they stopped. It was like too intensive or something. Osmosis Jones is a sick movie. I like that bunches of us saw that movie. I'm really good. I'm making myself anxious by fixed seating on mouth stuff. Words? What are words? Agreed, Hoopy. I also don't always know what to say. And sometimes I'll say the wrong thing and then it like bites me in the ass. So I've like learned to say nothing. When you get your flowers, you will make extra work so you can keep tasting them. You get my flowers. Jay, like Gobs, bro. I'm like, I've been sold. I've been sold since I was in South Africa. Now I'm close enough, so I can almost smell it in the air. I need to come over your side. I've been postponing my boblastiness. Yeah, Joe Rogan was right. Being high does make me a better parent. No postponing and no guilt for being high around him either. That's my best self right now. It it makes us less critical, right? And that's what I noticed about my relationship with getting boblasty. It is a matter of criticality, right? And again, that's why I'm more than willing to admit or what's the exact word that I'm looking for? Allow there to be conversations about it not being the best thing always, right? Because if I need to be critical, if I have like a really specific objective, right? For instance, the first time I ever did a festival, I I was like putting up projectors, and I had to get these projectors perfectly aligned, and the software was like shaping my lines so that it fits exactly on the lines of reality. And as I do all of this, right, I'm in a very critical state of mind. And after I got done with all of the work, only then did I allow myself to release that critical I, right? And in doing so, I allowed myself sleep, knowing that the work was done. I didn't need to continue being critical. And what I can imagine is that if you have a kid, you're probably baseline tuned into a certain level of criticality, right? Because you want your kid to be a certain way, I guess, right? You want them to be smart, you want them to be happy, you want them to be having fun, you want them to be feeling like they're taken care of, right? In a good way. You want to feel like you have a good relationship with them as well. And I can only imagine reducing the amount of criticality in that kind of exchange could help. I've noticed the same thing with my dad, where if we're both in that state of mind, there is a lot more leniency, a lot more room for different perspectives, different ways of seeing to be considered that might not be if we're in this state of already knowing, right, what is. Lead with love, lead with love, the rest will follow. Toasty says, Toasty. Bro, what a pleasure it is to have you here with us. I've missed you a lot, Toast. Like a lot, though. Like big bunches. And I don't know if you know. I hope you do. Hey, Angie. Welcome, Angie. I hope you do know that every single time I open my Patreon to post a flower, it's very small right now. It used to be big old and in the middle, but they keep changing my stuff. They keep changing my stuff. They can't just leave a good thing alone. No, no, they need to change. They need to change my shiznit all the time. And I'm getting so triggered. Let me, let me. Yes. No, it's not letting me. Okay, this is where I calm down. Yes, okay. Yes, that's happening. All right. I put down the side of me that's getting mad. But that was Toast. Toast drew that. I did add like some of my flowers as a background, making it look like he's melting into reality. But Toast, oh, little lion mouth. Yeah, yeah. Toasty Malosty did that. It's one of my most cherished gifts, one of the things that I love the most about my reality. Something so special to me. And I thank you. I'll keep thanking you. And every time I see it, I send you good vibes, bro. Let me see what I missed up top. Bessel, you're good at the things we have a love-hate relationship with. We're good at the things we have a love-hate relationship with. It's interesting you say that, Hoopy. I don't hate making my flowers. I do love making my flowers. But I could acknowledge that I sometimes hate how much time it takes me to get my work done. And because of that, there is a goodness, right? I'm good at what I'm doing right now because I have found my flow with it as well. I have my own gateway to the self called Uni Mudra. Hey Google, what is Uni Mudra? It got most of that. Didn't get the Yoni. I should have done Yoni Mudra.
Yoni Mudra, also known as Yoni Mudra,
Uh-huh.
is a hand gesture used in yoga and meditation to promote inner peace and detach from external chaos. It symbolizes the womb or source, fostering a deep connection to your feminine energy and stillness. How to perform it? 1. Bring your palms together.
Mm-hmm.
2. Point your index fingers down and thumbs up, touching tips to form a diamond shape. 3. Tuck your other fingers inward, interlocking them or pressing the knuckles together. Would you like me to find a guided meditation routine that incorporates this mudra?
Like this? Is this the mudra? Am I mudraing correctly? Hoopty hoops? A gateway to the self. When I close my eyes, I see someone getting out of a vehicle. For some reason, getting inside the vehicle. Not to drive it, apparently, but to pick up a small little rock that lays close to where the pedals of the vehicle are. That rock seems to be blue, and it has small little pieces of quartz crystal peeking out of it. It's okay. And inside of those little pieces of quartz crystal are small little black flecks that, if I get close enough, is revealed to be planets. Strange. Okay. Okay, all right. The G is back. The toast was within us all. Oh, crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. May the toast be with us. The original still chills in my notebook. I'll save it for you someday. Thank you, bro. Would be something that I'd frame and put up in my home. Before Mel confused me with Darren in chat, he confused me with Toasty. Yeah, I love you, friends, and I feel like you homies take on a space of like person that I love. And then sometimes I'll say a word of like this person that I love, and then I'll realize that I'm actually addressing someone else. It makes me cringe every time, for what it's worth. I cringe deeply. I feel like I'm stupid. Everything makes me think of her. I should call her, dude, gobbity Like, I don't want to say this, technically, but when I did that and I closed my eyes, that is actually the first thing that I saw. But then I kept going and it opened up to be a person getting out of a car. Right? You got me, oh. To sing. Joe is gonna have to leave soon. I'm gonna finish up my stream. Oh, let me pull a card. We'll do work your light, right? Yeah. Work your light. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Zoom. I'm shuffling the deck. And now you friends tell me when to stop. Drink the post in the melt line and chat. Good. And the second I see stop, I will stop flaring these cards. And the one, nice. Sam is the one. We, yesterday, had a whole stream topic about what this card is about to say. What a trip. Awakening. Imagine waking up like that, just like floating off of your bed. Are you? The comments. Thank you, Sam. I'm stopping by saying stop. This is the card for today. Awakening. Awaken. Awaken. Take the land. Awaken. Energetic upgrades. A new way of being. Integration. Energetic upgrades. You want some energetic upgrades? Awaken. Mm-hmm. There it is. Awakening. You are going through a period of awakening. Things are changing within you, and at many levels, you are starting to remember ancient truths and discovering more and more about who you are and why you have incarnated. You may find that you are experiencing past life flashbacks, seeing the invisible thread that is woven through all of life, or even feeling Kundalini Shakti rise through your body from the base of your spine. The most important thing for this time is not to overthink it, and to stay grounded. Share your experience with like soul people who, while you consciously integrate them, journal and pay attention to your dreams. I had some dreams yesterday. I was traveling interplanetary. Attitude with attitude elevation. Ah, Hoopty. Hoopty is such a sweetheart. Everybody tell Hoopty he's amazing. Tell Hoopty he's so great for sending me some lovin's. Thank you, dude. I had dreams about traveling interplanetary, right? We were getting on spaceships and we were traveling from one planet to the next, and it was so scary. Really scary. Like separating from a planetary body and then like going out into the void of space in the hopes, in the trust that there will be a planet where it is we're going. It was very discombobulating. And then we would get to a planet, and that planet would be a shit show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then I would be like, oh, I don't know if this is it. And then we'd get on a spaceship again and we would go to the next planet. And it was like suddenly, like you are remembering, pay attention and journal your dreams. Like suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, you are remembering and your soul gifts are emerging. During this time of transition and awakening, you may be called to devote yourself to being of service. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them. Pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world. Oh, Yassi, holy shit. What just happened? I have been sponsored for 16 months. Did you do that? Did you just Yep. We got 16 months. That's a lot. That's a lot, Cops. Love you, bro. I'm so grateful. Seriously, friends. Like, I'm like getting emotional a little bit. I'm not gonna cry. I'm sucking the tears back into my eyes. Oh, okay, I think my eyes are dry again. That actually makes me feel better, Sam. I want to get closer to the light. Bring on the shadowless fractal self. Try, fractal shelf. You can try. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into this world. Stay open to receiving them, for pulling this card may be a sign that you are here to birth one of these creations into the world. Hey, Nancy. Or perhaps you're being called to make a shift in your life in order to be of service. Don't think too much about it. Instead, repeat the following activation. Hold this card on your heart and say, for the sponsorship streak, I'd like to thank my mom, also Joe Bot. That's cute. It's true. Joe has been like our biggest donator, right? When it comes to like memberships. Thank you, Gabs. Like, remember the whole getting emotional part? I was getting emotional about the fact that I deal with insecurities in my own journey, like we all do, right? And one of the insecurities that I was dealing with is feeling, sometimes like unworthy. And it's been something I've been dealing with like since the first days of my live streams. It's like, am I good enough? Am I lovable enough? Am I entertaining enough to deserve someone's attention, kind of thing? And seeing you like lock in for 16 months of being a member of the space. You've been a member of the space since day one, basically, but like stepping forward like that. Jeez. Love you, bro. Card is on my heart, basically. And I'll say, I surrender to my awakening. I follow the Shakti energy to rise. I allow. Sorry. Shakti energy It might be a little bit weird when you hear it like that. Shakti energy is almost like, for me at least, a state of a state of being, right? An awareness of you being here. And that energy is something that can be stored at the base of your spine. And when you exercise or do breath work, for example, that energy starts to arise. And you can reach this point of like what some people call enlightenment, or I like the word awareness. Joe mentioned the word awareness yesterday, right? Allow this awareness to rise from the base of your spine. I open myself up to the universe using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. Jo has this thing that she repeats that she heard from Richard Miller, where during his yoga nidras he goes, "Life is living me with value and purpose." Right? Life is living us with value and purpose. Purpose, meaning, and value. Thank you, Jo. That's right. Life is living us with purpose, meaning, and value. And it's so much better to be living here with you alongside in this space. You want some energetic upgrades? You think I don't know better than that? That shit won't get handed out until you go through some growing pains first. Yep, we are. We are experiencing the growing pains right now, dear Sam. Trying to understand how I am to recognize myself in all the shadows, evil, and ugliness rearing its face to the world right now. I'm like, seriously, bro? I'm doing all of this for fucking why? I think that why is the most important question to ask, Goo. And I feel like that why is going to change for us, dude. Day to day, month to month, year to year. That change is something to expect. I feel ultimately the underlying why is love, right? Is that we're here to share love, be love, make sure there's more of it instead of less. However, it doesn't make it any easier to do so. Remember Kingdom Hearts, bro. The closer we are to the light, the greater our shadows become. That's super cool. That's really cool. I like that, Sam. Thank you for sharing that. I had a dream last night that was telling you to watch your breath melt more. Then you can, I hope, for reality, gets addicted to Kriyas. Sounds like a good hope for us all. Doing Kriyas. This actually makes me feel better, Sam, right? It's a really cool thing to consider. For the sponsor per streak, love again. You don't deserve attention for reasons minus the reason you give to life as life. Did Melt touch his forehead yet? Remind myself of my third eye. Bring my attention upwards instead of letting it sink into the body. All right. Good morning, Nan. Nice to have you here for our awakening, finding mindfulness. Thank you, friends, for finding this mindfulness with me. I've read you a card. Let me show you yesterday's flower. The poem is nice and short, and then we'll say goodbye. This is what it's like. Good morning, Steve, Mr. Merman. We're just about finishing our work today. Our awakening. Our showing up in the when. Hey, Joe sending me hard times. I've taken in a lot of stories, a lot. Kingdom Hearts was far the very most important one. I've heard so many good things about Kingdom Hearts, but I never got to play that one, Sam. I was not there for that era of game playing. Nice work today. Do not want to go. Well, I'm going to be here for only a moment. Only a moment. Like we have like 5 minutes left. From the dishes in the kitchen saying, Joe, doing all of the things. Yeah, Jo knows that if she doesn't do the dishes right now, I'm gonna do the dishes later. We've been having this joke about me doing things before she gets to it, and it makes me happy. Thank you, Jo, for doing them dishes. I love you. I recommend searching up the artwork of Luke Brown, Beings Within Beings type shit. I'll do my, I'll do your dishes, bestie. Washing more dishes than we dirty as a community, right? It's not it. Joe says she loves you. Alrighty. I have shown you. I really like this flower. It has pretty shapies. You see the owl? He looks a little bit sad, but he's just seen some shit. He's not sad. He's just tired. All right. Now I'll read to you. It's a really short poem. I don't know if it's much good. Joe is saying hi, merman. I don't know if this poem is very good because I felt like I was not as present as I could have been in writing it. I say check out Luke Brown because I see beings within beings and it made me think of him. You'll love the work. Hey Google, show me Luke Brown's work. Thinking about it.
Luke Bryan is a country music superstar.
No! I said Luke Brown, not Luke Bryan. I'll use my meat sticks to type in Luke Brown. Now I get Luke Browning, the Formula One racer. Not Browning, yeah, but Brown. Artist. Yeah. I think this is it. I think he has a website. Ooh, I know this guy's work. I've seen his work before. A lot. I've seen his work many a times, actually. Let's open this digital art. I do like my digital artworks. Whoa. Okay. Not too sensual. Very cool stuff. I do like his work, Gobs. Super psychedelic. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, this dude definitely communes with divine moments of thought. Like, this is very familiar. Ooh, Joe, you'll like this one. Right?
That digital?
Yep. He does do paintings as well, but this is digital.
I like the idea of using digital framework and then translating that into like physical material, like hand paint.
I mean, these are his hand paintings.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was like,
there we go,
he
yeah.
probably did it digitally first.
And then paints them by hand.
Did a digital framework and then maybe even like I've seen Gob, he grids his work out, right? A lot of artists will grid their work out after having like something to work from. Make a grid.
Yeah.
And then pinpoint the grid.
Exactly.
I like to see that kind of stuff. It takes a lot of time and effort. Oh
Like, can you imagine?
These are paintings?
These are paintings, yeah. Oil on canvas. He does oil. This man is crazy. Like, I don't know if I have this level of creativity in my brain. Very impressive. I like that. This two-hand mudraing. It's a mudra, yeah. We were talking about mudras today. With hoopty. You like that, hoopty hoops? You see the faces too?
Like a fire and a water.
Right. So cool. Thank you, Gabadygoo, for bringing this to our attention.
Shiva and Shakti.
He actually, yeah, he has a Shiva and Shakti one here. Is it? I think he has a Shiva and Shakti one. This is Tantric. Here's the immovable one. I wouldn't be surprised if he has some Shiva works. Very cool, Gobs. Sending you blessings and love. Luke Brown. Luke Brown. Luke Brown. Oh, the surname, right? It's almost ironic.
The brown is kind of like a neutral color.
Right. It's like, yeah.
Luke Tan.
Luke Tan.
Luke neutral.
Luke Beige. Oh, love is true. Yo, that's sick. Really cool, right? Draws it digitally, projects it, traces it, paints it. That's how I did Joe Lemon and Lime. There it is. I think that's what she was talking about even. Ask him how he hand painted such perfect lines.
Trigger too.
Trigger?
Trigger.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, when he draw his little doggo. I like the black light posters. I'm almost done. I haven't read you the poem yet. I met him at a music and art festival in 2014. He had UV reactive pieces. He was at the booth alone, waving the black light over the pieces. I relate to that so much. I was basically doing the same thing at a festival as well with my work.
Dan.
I didn't see what Dan said yet. Bro, do not make fun of neutral color name. Not cool. What? I was like, what is his name? Gray or something? I mean, you're colorful enough to have a name like that. Same for Mr. Brown. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm brown. I'll just guess I'll make super psychedelic, high contrast, artistic pieces." It's like, I'll show you, mom and dad." Asking him how he paints a straight line, draws it digitally, and then projects it. Very cool. Luke Brown, y'all. This shit gives me goose pimples. It's very beautiful. Alex Gray, Lamau, exactly. Alex Gray as well. It feels like it's almost like destined. It's like if you have a bland name, you start making psychedelic works of art. Alex Gray is the person that I like really like idolize, right? And I feel like they're probably like creating art in the same genre or like world. Like I would like get both a Luke Brown and an Alex Gray work of art, and I would have them next to each other on the wall, kind of thing, right? Okay, poem reading time and saying goodbye. Bland name. Oh, unreal. I mean, my name is MeltMore, right? More can be pretty bland as well, technically. It can be everything too, but if I give you more of the same color, it will disappear, and the rest of it, or something. We will make it happen in our hippie commune. That sounds like an awesome fractal. Alex has or used to have a gallery, I think, on the East Coast somewhere. I think he still does. I think it's called the Church of Cosm or something like that. Okay, I need to finish up. I love you, friends. I'm joking. Good. Nope. Dr. Seuss did a series called The Midnight Paintings. If you haven't, go look. Yeah, some of Dr. Seuss's a little bit more, let's call it adult work. Cosm. Yeah, me and Gabs knows. How is waking up is what this poem was titled. Dawn holds for us hope, a start of something new, a chance to be the way we always knew we could. Yet it's rarely so easy to motivate ourselves out of the warm. Comfort holds on tight when it has you by your morning. I lift my eyes to light and choose to step into it, squinting as I step forward, trusting I'll adjust. Trusting I'll adjust. Stepping into the light. Awakening can be frightening. Right? It can be a little bit uncomfortable as you try and feel your way out. I thank you, friends, for joining me, for feeling this space out with me, too. I'll see you again soon, tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you again, Gabadi Goo, for extending your membership for so long. Thank you, Hoopy, for your donation to this space as well. Thank you to the friend earlier who sent a little gift. Midnight paintings are sick, so Gabs or Dan's has seen it too now. All right. I thank you, friends, and I'll say a goodbye until tomorrow. Cheers, everyone. Love ya. Ta-ta.